Meet Noah Hancock, a sophomore at Chandler Gilbert who is currently playing Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen on the piano. He's more than just an ordinary student. Noah is a musician who happens to play multiple instruments. To many people, this may just seem ordinary. A dude playing the piano. Well, what if I told you that right now, every time him or any other musician picks up an instrument, there are fireworks going off inside the brain?
Let's take a look at some of the research in the form of this TED Talk.
Neuroscientists have a pretty good idea. Playing a musical instrument engages practically every area of the brain at once, especially the visual, auditory, and motor cortices. And as with any other workout, disciplined, structured practice in playing music strengthens those brain functions, allowing us to apply that strength to other activities. The most obvious difference between listening to music and playing it is that the latter requires fine motor skills, which are controlled in both hemispheres of the brain. It also combines the linguistic and mathematical precision in which the left hemisphere is more involved with the novel and creative content that the right excels in. For these reasons, playing music has been found to increase the volume and activity in the brain's corpus callosum, the bridge between the two hemispheres, allowing messages to get across the brain faster and through more diverse routes. This may allow musicians to solve problems more effectively and creatively in both academic and social settings. Because making music also involves crafting and understanding its emotional content and message, musicians often have higher levels of executive function, a category of interlinked tasks that includes planning, strategizing, and attention to detail, and requires simultaneous analysis of both cognitive and emotional aspects. This ability also has an impact on how our memory systems work. And indeed, musicians exhibit enhanced memory functions, creating, storing, and retrieving memories more quickly and efficiently. Studies have found that musicians appear to use their highly connected brains to give each memory multiple tags, such as a conceptual tag, an emotional tag, an audio tag, and a contextual tag, like a good internet search engine. So how do we know that all these benefits are unique to music, as opposed to, say, sports or painting? Or could it be that people who go into music were already smarter to begin with? Neuroscientists have explored these issues, but so far they have found that the artistic and aesthetic aspects of learning to play a musical instrument are different from any other activity studied, including other arts. And several randomized studies of participants who showed the same levels of cognitive function and neural processing at the start found that those who were exposed to a period of music learning showed enhancement in multiple brain areas compared to the others. This recent research about the mental benefits of playing music has advanced our understanding of mental function, revealing the inner rhythms and complex interplay that make up the amazing orchestra of our brain.
As discussed in the TED Talk, playing and listening to music benefits our entire brain, boosting our abilities in any cognitive function. And not only that, the talk states that there are memory benefits, which can help in studying and doing homework as well.
So Noah and I, we wanted to switch gears because although the video talks about like the benefits and skills that musicians gain from playing music, we wanted a musician's perspective. So what we did is we set up an interview with two music professors at Chandler Gilbert. Their names are Adam Roberts and Joseph Johnston. And so we asked them a series of questions, and we wanted to see what their responses were and how it compared to Anita Collins.
What are some differences you see between musicians and non-musicians?
One of the major things is musicians have been spending their whole life being connected to their voice, being encouraged to express themselves, encouraged to explore thoughts that came from great artists or possibly very conflicting viewpoints of their own, in a way where they had to do it honestly. You know, if I'm going to perform a piece of music, even if I don't necessarily agree with the lyrics behind it or the story behind it, I still have to do it with integrity. You turn around to somebody who's never been asked to do that, and it's possible for them to cloister themselves away from so much conflicting thought, and it just makes you less whole. You lack a whole perspective that people are getting through the arts because you haven't been exposed to it directly and experienced it.
All right, and then here's Joseph Johnston's response.
Musicians have to problem solve so much. And when they're looking at a piece of music and they're counting the rhythm, their mind is going so fast. If you watch a musician problem solve anything else in life versus someone else, they're more equipped. They've thought through these things. They can balance these things. I really believe that. I've seen the studies on it. So.
Okay, to summarize what Joseph was trying to say, I'm going to refer back to the TED Talk video and the research that Anita Collins conducted. So it says right here, according to Collins, while playing music, musicians use both sides of the brain. The left side, which is the problem-solving side, and the right side, which is the creative side. So playing music increases the volume and activity in the brain's corpus callosum, which is, like the video said, it's the bridge between the two hemispheres, the left and the right. And so this allows messages to get across the brain faster and through more diverse routes, which makes musicians more able to solve problems effectively and creatively.
How can musicians apply the skills they gain in everyday life?
Engaging, just like you might engage in learning Spanish, okay, so very much the same thing. So it rewires how you think. You think in a very disciplined and structured way, and it brings a clarity and a richness to your vocabulary in a way that nothing else really does. When I deal with musicians who have attained a certain degree of mastery, their look on the world just seems to be fundamentally different. And it's because it challenges you to engage language at a very deep, but also a very thoughtful level, in a way that our native language often doesn't get considered. We're functioning with this so young, so naturally. I'm speaking English because that's what my parents spoke. But unless you've been asked to engage with it in a thoughtful manner, it's just part of your day-to-day. But in music, we have to engage in it in a thoughtful manner to grow. So it just develops you.
Right. So I'll take my son for a moment. My son had full anxiety to where a waiter would come up and ask, can I take your order? And he would go into a full panic mode. He couldn't function. He found music. After going through performances and conquering those performances, the confidence level in him as a whole, he can go in front and do almost anything he wants to do now. Wow. It made him the person that he can. So I really think that the performance factor builds an individual, gives them the confidence to do anything they want to do. Wow. And I don't care, it doesn't have to be music, but once they've conquered that, they know they can conquer so many more things. And just,
Okay, so that wraps up our documentary. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and you guys really learned a lot from it. I hope sometime in the near future that you guys are encouraged to go out of your way and learn an instrument. As you can see, the benefits that we talked about, skills that you can gain and apply to everyday life. So yeah, thanks a lot.